confusing, congested? Are you just trying to find your way? There must be a light at the end of this tunnel. Well, there's a way to find your calling, to find that job you want and deserve, when someone will come up to you and say, "You're hired."
Steve Piazzali, a career and life coach, and welcome to Your Hired, a show about jobs and careers in which we answer questions such as, how do I find work that makes me come alive? How do I get that job I want and deserve? How do I take performance to the next level, maybe become a leader? Well, we're going to answer these questions and many more by having on each show knowledgeable, lively guests, and we certainly have one today. Before I introduce her, though, I'd like to invite you to check out my website where you'll find the 12 keys to getting a great job. You can sign up for my free career newsletter, and you can find out about the career coaching I do. Essentially what I do is work with people one-on-one to help them get unstuck and build momentum towards achieving their goals faster than they would on their own. This usually saves time, money, a whole lot of stress, plus landing you in a better fitting job. That information is at www.bayareacareercoach.com. That's www.bayareacareercoach.com. I was getting excited introducing Valli Bindana. So, or is it Bindana?
Bindana.
Bindana. She's president and creative director of KreativeVistas. Is that right? It's plural.
It is perfectly right.
Yeah, and they take difficult concepts and make them really clear through advanced multimedia techniques. But she's also here to talk about finding your passion and following it to be able to, advance your career and make it your profession. She's very lively and an admirable person. I welcome her to the show.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So I always like to start out with, what do you do right now in the path you took to getting here?
Okay. As you said, I'm the president of KreativeVistas. I started this company. And KreativeVistas creates films, multimedia films, to simplify complex ideas, complex concepts. So whenever information flows from a highly technical source to a relatively non-technical audience, that's where we step in and create a film out of it and enable better communication and better understanding between the two parties. So, yeah.
Go ahead, and the path you took to getting there?
Okay, so the path, well, I myself have an advertising background. So I've always been on the creative side of things, creating ads and creating concepts, conceptualizing campaigns and writing scripts and stuff like that. I also shifted to a travel website for about 3 years. That was my passion at that time, writing and developing content about places and stuff. And took a detour and came back to making films here in the U.S. I came here 7 years back, and I started this company about 3 years back.
Yeah, it's so interesting. People don't always take a direct path. You think at the end, oh yeah, they came out of it, but you took a path and you tried something else.
I was, hovering around filmmaking, making ad films and stuff, but then, I'm back to making films.
But it sounds like there was a thread through it, right? The
It
creative
is,
side.
definitely. I was always connected with communications in some form or the other.
Okay, so you brought along a short little clip that's a sample of what you do. Can you tell us what we're about to see?
Well, lately we've been developing commercials. These are social messages for anti-tobacco campaigns. We have developed some of them which are about saving the environment or limit consumption, for example. So this one here is about anti-tobacco, and it's a 40-second commercial that is still to go on air, but this is the first time I'm going to show anybody.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, it's a first. Let's show the clip, please. I can see how there's a message where the person gets set on fire and disappears.
Yes, because we discovered there were commercials about anti-tobacco which were not so entertaining and pretty scary, some of them, which is fine. You scare people to, prove a point that it's bad for you. But we thought it should be entertaining as well, and let people laugh at themselves at what they're doing, and probably, you know, hammer some sense into them. Yeah.
Well, hammer some sense.
At the same time.
Yeah, because it looked like you took the person away, but you brought them back, so it had a happy ending.
Yeah.
What are some of the other clips? I know that there are others you could have possibly brought. What
Yeah,
are some of the
there
other
was
ones?
another one that I thought I should show. It was a patient education film we did for Kaiser Permanente, and it was a film on high blood pressure, effects of high blood pressure on a human body, actually. So that was a very powerful film in the sense that it tested out on patients, and in fact the people who were actually creating it, they got so psyched up they actually got themselves tested.
Wow.
So yeah, it was very, very powerful, and
So
it actually made people move and get themselves tested.
Might this be on your website eventually?
It is definitely on our website,
So
and people could actually go and take a look there.
Yeah, because we're going to continue to,
Yes,
to
of
show
course.
your email address and
Of course.
or your website address so they can go there.
Yes, of course.
Let's talk a little bit about this idea of following your passion. You've done it. It seems most
I
all of your
have
career.
tried to follow it right from the beginning, have been adamant at, you know, sticking to it and really following it through. The first thing is to realize what your passion is and then follow it through, and knowing if you have an aptitude for it. That's very important. You can't do without it. It's not just enough to have passion for something. I would love to sing. I would have a lot of passion for singing, but if people run away, then I probably should drop the idea of, you know,
So how did
making
you
that
figure
into a
out your
profession.
passion? I mean, did you just sort of know you're creative, or how did it, because a
It
person...
was way back when I was a kid. I used to write a lot, and it came very naturally to me. I didn't know it was good, but people used to say, well, wow, you've written very well. And I was, really? Because I didn't put any effort into it. So that is when, and it was a slow progression. It wasn't a realization kind of thing. It was a slow progression that this is what I want to do. Something to do with communications, communicating through a media is something that I wanted to do, yeah.
So you brought along a
did.
graphic. This is like a 5-step action plan for people that have either gone down a different path.
Yeah, this is something that I have friends and know people who are happy with what they're doing right now. I mean, they're successful. They're about 20, 25, not 20, but 25 to 35, 40, and they're happy with what they're doing. They've chosen a path sometime in their lives, and they're walking down that path, but somewhere there's a nagging feeling that probably this is not what I want to do all my life. And so for them, I thought there should be a clear-cut thought process for them to, you know, help them to change tracks and change professions and go back to what your passion was and follow that and make that your profession.
Okay.